Welcome to Health Education 2. The course code for this module is HE20D2, and my name is S. Dube, and I'm going to be the presenter for this course. Let's quickly look at the course content, meaning the thing that we are going to be covering in this module. We are going to look at introduction to primary health care, communicable diseases, basic information, communicable diseases malaria, communicable disease tuberculosis, communicable disease cholera, harmful hazards, alcohol, drugs, and tobacco, and its effects on health and wellness, behavioral and contextual factors contributing to the spread of HIV, that's contemporary negative sexual behavior patterns, promoting first aid knowledge for community-based organizations and schools, designing and conducting HIV prevention health education programs, the role of the print and electronic media in raising health awareness, promoting women's leadership in planning, implementing, and monitoring of HIV and AIDS programs. The learning outcomes. At the end of this module, students should be able to develop an overview of primary health care and common communicable diseases in Namibia. Students to have an in-depth knowledge of the behavioral and contextual factors influencing the spread of HIV in Namibia. Students to develop knowledge of the harmful effects of alcohol, drugs, and tobacco on the health and wellness of the individual and its consequences for the individual, family, and adolescents. Students to examine the role of print and electronic media in health education and empower students with skills in designing health education programs at community level. We also look forward that students will be able to understand the importance of first aid at community and school level, and that students to be able to develop knowledge and promotion of women's leadership in monitoring and evaluation of HIV programs. Let's also look at the overview of this module. This module is basically tailored for the second year students and provides an overview of primary health care and its role in health and development in Namibia. It examines specific common communicable diseases in Namibia, namely malaria, TB, and cholera. It discusses and reviews behavioral and contextual factors driving the HIV epidemic, including other harmful sexual behaviors. The review of harmful effects of alcohol, drugs, and tobacco on the health and wellness of people looks at the effects and consequences of such harmful practices on the individual, family, and the adolescents. And students are assisted in identifying the role of print electronic media in health education towards empowering them with skills to design and conduct health education programs in communities. And also this manual reviews first aid knowledge for schools and promotes the role of women in leadership of HIV program monitoring and evaluation. Let's briefly look at the introduction of primary care. Basically, if you look at the definition, it says that primary health care is the essential health care based on practical, scientifically sound, and socially acceptable methods and technology made universally accessible to individuals and families in the community through their full participation at a cost that the community and the country can afford to maintain at every stage of their development in the spirit of self-determination. So basically what it means is that primary health care should be accessible by members of the community, and the fact that it should be available to those who need, be it individual and family members in that respective community. Let's look at the focus of primary health care. Primary health care basically reflects and revolves from the economic, social, cultural, and political characteristics of the country and its people. It addresses the main health problems in the community through prevention, promotion, and curative and rehabilitative care programs. It also, this concept of primary health care includes education and prevailing health problems, promotes self-food, water, and sanitation. It also provides services for material and child care. It prevent and control endemic diseases, treat common diseases and injuries, as well as provide essential drugs. It involves all relevant parties and sectors at all levels in government and society. And also, primary health care requires and promotes community involvement and focuses on ultimate self-reliance of the communities it serves. It also relies on well-trained healthcare workers to work as a team and respond to the health needs of the community. It also requires government to formulate national policies, guidelines, and plans in a comprehensive manner as part of primary health care approach. It strives to attain acceptable health levels by the year 2000 and beyond. So before we come to the looking at a number of issues, I would like to take you through a series of assignments that you guys are supposed to be taking on. So this module basically contains 4 assignments. And assignment 1 is about define primary health care according to Alma Ata Declaration and describe in your own words your understanding and elaborate on the concept of primary health care and also discuss the focus of primary health care. So what it means for you as a student is that you should acquaint yourself with the key definitions of primary health care and also make sure that you look at the Alma Ata Declaration, which you can download on the internet. And from there you can read that document, and in order for you to understand not only the definition but the entire concept of primary health care in order for you to attempt this assignment. Assignment 2 talks about discussing the principles and philosophy of primary health care and also name and explain the different components. So as a student, you're expected to discuss what is the philosophy, what are the principles of primary health care, and also the different components. So you have to identify those components, name them, and explain them. Assignment 3 talks about, reads as follows: discuss some of the most common communicable diseases in Namibia and discuss malaria in full, diagnosis, prevention, treatment. What is the status of the elimination of malaria? So we must remember that Namibia is one of the countries called the Elimination 8, meaning that there are goals that the government is set up to eliminate malaria by the year 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So you have to acquaint yourself with this concept and as you attempt this assignment. The last assignment, you have been appointed as a community mobilizer in your region. Discuss how would you go about implementing the 1990 concept according to Vision 2020 in the fight against HIV/AIDS in Namibia. So we are pretty much aware that there is a concept called Vision 2020, whereby the aim is it's an ambitious plan basically aimed at scaling down the effect of HIV and AIDS. So which means that 90% of the population must be tested, 90% of those tested must be put on medication, and 90% of those who are on medication must achieve 90% adherence to medication. So in conclusion, I would refer you to study your manual for more details and kindly contact me. All my contact details are in your tutorials, and I wish you all the best in this very wonderful journey of self-discovery. I thank you.